And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Michael Warbucks Show. Today is What the Friday, and if you do not know what the Friday is, it's where we talk about a bunch of crazy stories that happen throughout the week, like this homeless man that is being arrested on suspicion of breaking another man's arm because he needed to get into the bathroom in a Del Taco. That's how we're going to start the show out this week. Let's get on with the show. Our first story today, let's talk about a Bronx substitute teacher. He was arrested for giving students purple nurples. And if you don't know what those are, quote, titty twisters. Well, this substitute teacher did this a couple times to this 16-year-old student. The student was a male, but the substitute teacher was released from jail without bail. I don't care if you were joking or not, especially when you're a teacher. Nowadays, you do not put your hands on any kind of student. And why would you give purple nurples, man? That's like the upper chest region of getting kicked in the balls. Fuckers don't go away for like a week. Now, let's move on to some quick news. There was this guy in Tulsa who was in his home that all of a sudden he heard a knocking at his door. He opened up the door and it was this dude all covered in blood. So the guy didn't want anything to do with it. He shuts the door on him. So next thing you know, the guy hears the bloody guy kicking in his back door. The owner of the house runs out the front door, calls the cops. Cops show up and they find the bloody dude naked in this guy's water heater closet. The home invasion dude was taken into custody and he was taken to a medical facility to see exactly what happened to him. Now, I'm sure the guy just needed some help, but at the same time, if a bloody dude showed up at my front door who was naked, I'd shut the door on him too, and then call the cops. Our next story, let's talk about the state of Washington. There was this third grader that brought a gun to school, and he ended up shooting one of his classmates. Now, the classmate was a girl, and she is in critical condition. The third grader was taken into custody, and the gun was found. There's still no reason behind the shooting. It's still being investigated. But what in the hell was a third grader doing with a gun? It's a shame that the girl got shot, but at the same time, I'm glad that nobody else got hurt. I just wish a full recovery on the girl. It's a shame. Next up, let's talk about a woman who owes a shit ton in bridge toll fees. She originally owed a little over $21,000 in bridge tolls, and now tacking on all the additional fees and the fines, she now owes over $102,000. She's blaming this on her son, who was a drug addict, and he would always go into New York by crossing the George Washington Bridge. And she goes on to say about her son, when you're addicted, you don't think about the consequences. Now, my question is, I thought you had to pay the tolls up front, but $102,000 in fines, where are you going to get the money to pay that? That's an incredible charge. Now, back to some regular news. There was a man that was found not guilty of paying high school teens to spit in his face and yell swear words at him. Okay, no big deal. Yeah, but he was doing this for sexual gratification. How messed up are you? Now, some of these students also said that he paid for them to pee on him and poop on him. Are you sure we're not talking about R. Kelly right here? This dude was charged with 4 counts of annoying and molesting a child, but somehow this guy's lawyer got him out of it, and he would have been facing a year in jail, and he would have also had to register as a sex offender. So obviously this guy is not guilty, but this is a hell of a charge for teens to come up with. I'm not saying that these teens lied. I'm not saying that they didn't lie, but for them to come up with this kind of story and get this guy in all kinds of trouble, something had to be happening. That's just my opinion. Seriously, who spits and yells and shits and pisses on people? What kind of world are we living in? People are freaky. I'm happy if a chick brings me a beer and a sandwich to bed. Don't need her pissing on me. That's ugh. Next up, let's talk about the mother of the month. Now, before we get into it, we do not know the background on this lady. She might have fell on hard times, but still, you do have a child to take care of. There was this mother of a 12-year-old girl who's now facing child endangerment charges. There were witnesses that found this 12-year-old walking along the street, digging into garbage cans, looking for food, and she was naked. Now, police ended up finding the mom, and they arrested her, and then they went on to look for the girl, and they found her sitting in a parked car covered up with a floor mat. The mom was released on $15,000 bail. The child is now in protective custody, but my God. Again, you may have fell on some hard times. You might not have been able to take care of your child, but this is when you seek help of other people that you know. I would be amazed if this mother gets her child back. I'm sure it'll happen eventually down the road, but your child is your #1 priority. You got to look out for her safety. But I'm glad the child is somewhere safe now. And to the mom, I hope you can find the help that you need, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, because again, your daughter is your #1 priority. And our final story, let's talk about this Athens woman. Police showed up to this neighborhood and they saw that a group of people were pushing and shoving each other. One of the guys in the fight had a stab to the abdomen, and police determined that Essie Mae was the one that stabbed this guy. So before being taken off to jail, instead of the police reading her rights, she asked, you know, instead of having that Can I just do a couple quick hits from my crack pipe? Well, the cop said no, and they took her off to jail. That's gotta be a first on this show. Not only are you being charged with stabbing somebody, but now you got like drug charges coming against you. That probably wasn't the brightest move that you could have did. And to top it all off, she is being charged with cruelty to children because there were children present whenever she stabbed that guy. Lady, you're in a deep pile of shit. All right, guys, that's going to be today's show. Don't forget to leave a comment on the question of the day, which is, what was your favorite story today? Let me know. Also, guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it. Don't forget to put it in your favorites. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you back here on Tuesday. We'll see you then, guys.